Hello and welcome back. This is Maximus McCullough with A1WebsitePro.com, and today we're going to be talking about PHP7 functions, their uses, the application, programming. So how do we make functions and how do we use them? Okay, well, PHP7 functions are very useful. They are predefined functions that are already programmed into PHP that you can use, and you can also create your own PHP7 functions to use in your applications. This tutorial is going to go over PHP functions and how you can use them on your website and your applications. Now, what is a PHP function? A PHP function is a piece of code that creates or displays a programming function. It is used to pull data and information from its local resources. This is how it got its name, PHP Functions. Now, how many PHP functions are there? There are literally thousands of PHP functions, and if you include the ones people make, there's an unlimited number. But you can see a full list of the predefined PHP functions at this website right here, the php.net, and all these are PHP functions. When you click on them, it shows you how to use them. But we're going to show you how to use them in these lessons. Well, how do we write a PHP7 function? Well, let's go make sure our XAMPP server is up and running, and mine is. We're going to go to BB Edit, and we're going to go to File, and let's go to Open. And we want to go to the websites that we were working on earlier. And if you're having trouble finding it, if you go down to User MacBook Pro, go to your LAMP stack, and htdocs, and we were working on my website. Okay, so we'll open up this do.php file that we created in the last lesson, and we're just going to go up here, go File, Save As, and we're going to save this as functions. Oh, let's go with lowercase functions.php. Okay. All right, so let's create a function, shall we? Function, just like, oh, got to start out with our PHP tags, right? If I forget those, we'll get in trouble like we did last time. So we just start out by typing function, Function, okay? And then we give it a name, and we like foo. Open and close parentheses, open and close curly brackets, and you go inside these curly brackets, and we'll tab over, and we'll just say echo. We'll say this is coming from a PHP function. Okay. So let's go ahead to File, Save, because we already saved the functions. Now, the other thing that we want to do is we want to include the functions file in our header, like what I was talking to you guys about last time. So let's go to File, Open, and let's go to header.php. And at the top of the header, we're going to go above here. In fact, now let's leave the HTML up there. Let's just go inside the head tag, and we'll make a PHP tag here. We'll say include, open and close parentheses, terminator, and 2 single quotes, functions.php. Now, one of the things that we want to do in later lessons, we're going to be using a config file in our functions. So we want to include the config file there, but you want to get a habit whenever you're bringing things like functions in, or maybe if we were using the config file, we type include once, and then that way it's only going to bring that file in one time. Okay, so let's go ahead and click Save with Command S or Control S, and go back here to our functions. And now let's talk about this function. This right here declares that it is a function. This is the name of the function. The open and close parentheses are there to establish that it's a function. It's part of the PHP programming language. The same with these open and close curly brackets. Now, the functionality of the function, or the action of the function, is all written within. Okay? So this is saved, and we have it included in our header, but how would we display this on a page? Well, let's go here, and underneath the logo, if we go to our XAMPP server and go to volumes and then hit explore, we'll bring that up, or I'm sorry, not explore, general, and then go to application. It'll bring up our dashboard, and we could just go navigate to my website, and then we're in the do.php file. Okay. Well, we know that the header is being called in over and over again. So we're going to put something right above the welcome to the do page, but below the red bar here. And let's go ahead and put that in right here. We're already within a PHP tag here. So, well, let's go ahead and take it out of there because we want it below the ID. And let's go with a PHP tag. And we're just going to type foo, open and close parentheses, terminator, just like that. And we're going to hit save. If we go to the website, refresh, you notice this is coming from a PHP function. So that's pretty neat, isn't it? How, it works a little bit like a variable whenever you use it like that, doesn't it? So that's how you can call in a function, create a function, and call it in. Okay, now you do not have to use an external file like a functions.php file and call it in. And let me illustrate this for you too. If we go to File, Open, we'll go ahead and open the foo file. And right down here, we could go ahead and start with another PHP tag. And let's go ahead and declare a function, function, and we'll call this one boo. The only thing that you can't do is you can't use the same name as another function. Like if I named this foo, that you'd have problems. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our function of boo, echo. Let's just echo hi there. Hi there. I am a function. Now, in order to call this in, of course, we would have to type in boo with open and close parentheses and then a semicolon. All right. So let's go to the foo page. Click that. And there you go. Hi there. I am a function. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, now there's another thing that I want to show you guys. It's called parameters in functions. Okay, so sometimes we could have let's write another function here, and I'll type the whole thing out. Function, we'll call it last name, and we're going to go open and close parentheses, open and close curly bracket. Okay, just like so. And we'll go ahead and put the terminator on the end there. But inside the parentheses, this time, we are going to put var for a variable. Now you could name that whatever you want, var, bar, foo, dang, but it's just a variable. Okay, and let's go inside here, and we want to say tab over echo. Let's go ahead and echo var, and then we'll concatenate that with a period. A period concatenates, and then two single quotes, and then we'll put a space in the front, and we'll type in McCullough, just like so. Okay, now what we can do down here, we can type in last name, and then we can put open and close parentheses, and in here we could put two single quotes and type Maximus. Okay, and then spell that right, last name, Maximus, and then maybe we'll use my sons, Harley and David. All right, so let's go ahead and save that, Open up the foo page, refresh, and now it says Maximus McCullough, Harley McCullough, David McCullough. All right. So it's automatically putting the McCullough in every time. So exactly how does this work and what is it doing? Okay, so this function, last name, okay, that's the name of the function. This var is going to be whatever the variable is. So this var is actually resembling Maximus, Harley, David, okay? So that's the var. So when we're echoing the var, we're echoing the first names, okay? And then it's just by concatenating and concatenate with the period and then the single quote and then putting McCullough in the single quotes in the terminator, it's just appending McCullough onto every var, okay? So that's important that you grasp that and that you understand that. So that's how that works. Now we can also use parameters in functions. And let's get into that right now. Sometimes in programming, we'll want to set more than one parameter. In order to make things a little bit more understandable, this var here, let's name this f name, like so. Okay. Now, remember what I told you about the single quotes? Well, we're not going to be able to use them with adding additional parameters. So let's say that we want to include the year of birth, okay? Say year here. What we want to do is put a double quote there. We don't have to concatenate any longer. And put a double quote at the end. And let's put $year at the end, like so. Now down here, we're going to have to add our parameters to our function. In order to add an additional parameter, you put a comma, two single quotes. Inside there, you can put 1971. And then for Harley, we'll put a comma, two single quotes, and we'll say 2001. And then for David, we'll put a comma, two single quotes, and inside there, we'll put 2003. Okay. Then we hit Command S, go back to the application, and here you could see Maximus McCullough 1971, Harley McCullough 2001, David McCullough 2003. Now I know you're saying, well, that's straight across. Can you make them go up and down so we could read them easier? And yes, we can do that. Just add a little bit of HTML in right here. After the year, put space and put a BR tag. This is a BR tag if you remember from our other lessons. And we'll hit Command S, save that, refresh. Now we have them down on the line. Okay? So this is just showing you how to use parameters and functions. Now you may say, well, that's all well and good, but how is that going to contribute to the website? Well, you can store things in functions and then call them into your website. Unlike variables, once you set the variable, you have to use it on that page, But with a function, you can have, like we have here, a function.php with different functions going down and then call them in. For example, let's look at the header here. We could take all of this right here and put it into a function. So let's right click, copy, okay, and let's go ahead and go to our functions, and what we'll do is we'll create a function and call it header, or headers. And we'll call it head tag. All right. Open and close parentheses, open and close curly brackets, and inside here we're going to type echo, put our two single quotes in terminator, and go inside there and paste all that HTML. Now this include functions will not go in here because we're in the functions file. So we're going to copy that. We'll go ahead and save this file, and let's go back to the header. And then at the top, we're going to include once the functions file. And then what do we want to do here? We want to put in the head tag. So we'll copy the head tag, copy. We hit Command S. And then in the, we can create another PHP tag, or we can actually just go inside here and put head tag right there, save it, and then go to the site, refresh it, and you'll notice that it's the exact same thing that it'll be. So the exact same way it was. So you can actually, use less and less. You could code a lot less by using these functions in here. The same would be true of the menu. How I was getting to the point where you want to code as less as possible, and you don't want to keep writing the same thing twice. You could actually put the menu in the function and put that in there as well. You could also put a function in the function, but we'll get into that in a little bit later time. But as you can see, using functions is a good way to code. Now, we talked about creating functions here. What about the predefined functions? So let me give you an example of a predefined function that's already, you can already use it in PHP. Well, if we go in here, let's open up a PHP tag, close it out, and there's a function that's already included in PHP. It's called date. And then open and close parentheses with a terminator. And inside here, you could grab the M for month, small d for day, and capital Y for year. Okay. Now, if we save that, go to our website, refresh, you don't see anything. That's because that function is using the return attribute. You remember what I said there was echo, print, and return? So whenever it's using a return in the functions, for example, if we typed return here, let me hit save. If this function, the head tag, we just put return on here. Let me go ahead and refresh. You can see that the header is gone. All right. But if we go to the header.php and we put echo up here and hit save, refresh, we can see that it's back. So when you're using a return to return the information, you need to echo it out somewhere. Okay. All right. So let's go with this date. We would have to echo the date, month, date, year. So let's go ahead and save that. Refresh. And here we have November 8th, 2018. Okay. All right, well, maybe in the next lesson we'll get into styling this page a little bit more, because we're getting kind of disorderly. We have this function here, we got the date up there, the menu's not right. We have this information down here. Let's in our next one, let's start styling a little bit better and using PHP to write maybe our style sheet. This is Max with A1 Website Pro. I hope you're enjoying these lessons. If you are, please give it a like, and maybe share it with your friends, subscribe, or if you have any IT people you need trained, please, by all means, send them over. Thanks. Bye-bye.